Hi all, this video is going to be a crossover between my two projects, The Exploding Head on politics and Investigative Sophism on mental health, because by default it is a crossover what I wanted to share with you today, and that is the importance of keeping that self-compassion when things are tough, and as we're seeing something that could be called as imperfections, let's say, by others. And let me explain what I mean, because actually it took me some weeks to give the language to what I was experiencing, what I was seeing, and I think that is actually the language, but still maybe not very clear. So, as a political commentator who focuses on Palestine, and as a human, the past month actually has been tough, as it has been for many people. I know I've recorded many videos on Palestine, and my previous one for investigative sophism was on how to keep at least some kind of a base of mental health, self-care practices when things are really tough. But this is something different, and let me tell you a personal example. So months ago, I had bought tickets to 2 concerts to go to with my family, actually, that I'm visiting now, and they were this week, and I was like, is this kind of embarrassing? Should I, I want to go, I think I'll go, but maybe I shouldn't tell anyone that I went to some concerts. And then I saw a friend yesterday posting saying, oh, I feel kind of ashamed that I'm going to take a break from social media. I want to, spend some time with my family. And I'm like, hell yeah, do that. Of course. And I thought, oh, actually, I should, apply that to myself as well. Because, obviously disconnecting for some hours, moving my body a little bit, we know that that's, always good for us if movement is available. For me, it had a very nice effect. It really gave me more energy sort of to keep on going and, to do what I do really. So I thought probably there is a, a likelihood that more people are feeling this. And what I wanted to say is that we are, as people, both very simple and infinitely complex, right? And if we are a part of a certain struggle, we don't have to be suddenly perfect people to be a part of that struggle and to do work that is meaningful. And I have to say, I had a conversation recently where a certain person expressed these, to me, interesting views of how what I do, let's say in some areas, that should come with a certain, there's just an image formed of me that, oh, if you do this, then you don't do that. Or if you do this, then you do that. And I was in my head, I'm like, I am way more complex than you're imagining me, as obviously every person is way more complex than we can think of them, right? And being a part of a certain struggle, I think it doesn't require us to be perfect people. And obviously that perfection is imagined in the first place, but there are some things that we might not be proud of, right? So we see ourselves maybe it's not even what the society says, is how I see myself. And I'll give you another example. In the past month, I had a couple of evenings where to fall asleep, I had to drink more than half a bottle of wine. I'm like, it's not happening otherwise. And am I, do I know that alcohol is bad for me and horrible for my sleep? Yes, I do. And man, if that was my only way to soothe myself in general, in my life, that would be horrible. I would be in big trouble. But it's not. But that's what was sort of needed, I claim, in that moment. So, I have to understand that also, that perfection, my self-care and mental health practices and my health, it's not great, right? That is I understand that. But also, I will not allow anyone to then, the societal pressure or pressure from anyone, that's not gonna discredit the work that I do, the person who I am sort of in general, and that those imperfections and some unhealthy practices sometimes, yes, I'm not advocating them, of course, I'm not saying engage in practices and habits that would have, that would destroy your health or, your family long term, my goodness, that's not what I'm advocating. But I'm saying that those imperfections and habits, not habits, practices that are not good for us sometimes, maybe, or something we think that, I don't know if if I should be doing this, that they are allowed in a way, and they do fall under that complexity. And just because we might be fighting for a certain cause, it doesn't mean that we Like that's the only thing we're doing, right? And we really need to disconnect once in a while. I think it's not a luxury, even though it feels like a luxury, and it is a luxury for people who cannot disconnect. So there is a lot of privilege there. I'm not just, just disconnect, just rest. Many people cannot. Many people cannot. And it's difficult for many of us to completely disengage. It's very difficult. I'm not saying it's 100% possible, but if we can't spend time maybe with our families, right? To even like a simple thing, but I found myself for weeks, I just didn't listen to any music at all. It's like, just put a song, maybe just see, put a song you like see what it does to your body. Because in the end, if we want to continue going and doing the work that's meaningful, it's going to be, it's going to be long-term. It's going to be long-term. And we have to take care of ourselves. I'm not saying, please don't think I'm telling you to like just drink, a half bottle of wine every evening to fall asleep. Like, no, obviously. But once again, complexity is allowed. Different elements of our lives, they are allowed. Trying to disconnect for some hours, that is allowed. And we really don't need to be shaming ourselves when it's already difficult. To critically assess some habits maybe, and what we're doing, what we could be doing, are we using the tools that just psychology and neuroscience are giving us. I think that's an important assessment to have once in a while, right? But we know that shaming is just not the way to go. And if we see that we're falling into something that is a bit destructive, of course, then we have to take action as well. But so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I thought it was very needed. What I'm sharing now, I don't think it's like the only opinion, the only view on if you're in something difficult times, political struggle. I bet many people have different opinions, and I just want to say that I know that this is just my opinion. And man, if there are like healthier approaches and something that works better for you, please go with them, but I thought this was also needed, to say that there's a lot to navigate. There are layers and levels of complexity to whatever we're going through. But shame is really never the answer. Shame is just never the answer. We start with self-compassion, and hopefully that self-compassion also leads to healthier practices, yes. But we don't start with shame. So I hope you don't. And I hope you try at least to take care of yourselves, because I know it's very difficult. But once again, if we need to continue, we need to take care of ourselves. Burnout is not the answer. I know it's been the reality for so many. I understand that. But many reminders are needed, and that is in this situation, and this is one of them. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this community, and I'll see you soon.